Hi everybody, it's Dara here. Shabbat Shalom. I thought maybe we could read a little story about Sammy the spider. I know you guys are really familiar with this story. It's called Sammy Spider's First Shabbat. Many of our friends have heard this story many of times. Early Friday morning, Sammy Spider looked out at the Shapiro's kitchen window. There's Sammy the spider. Josh was turning on the garden hose. Suddenly, a spray of water hit the window and Sammy jumped back, spraying the strand on his web. "Mother," he called as he began to fall. Mrs. Spider caught Sammy in midair. "What's Josh doing?" Sammy asked, catching his breath. "He's watering the flower beds," she explained. "Tonight, when the family gathers for Shabbat dinner, Mrs. Shapiro will put the fresh flowers on the table." "Will we celebrate Shabbat too?" Sammy asked. "Silly little Sammy," answered Mrs. Spider. "Spiders don't celebrate Shabbat. What do spiders do? Spiders spin webs. And you need to fix the hole in yours." "I'll fix it later," said Sammy. He was busy watching Mr. Shapiro unpack a bag full of groceries for Shabbat dinner. Sammy looked down at all the food. "I wish I could celebrate Shabbat," he thought. But when he saw his torn web reflected in the wine bottle, he remembered his mommy's words. Spiders don't celebrate Shabbat. What do spiders do, friends? Spiders spin webs. "I'll fix it later," thought Sammy, following Josh into the living room. Josh put the bottle of wine on the table. He took out the Kiddush cups and candlesticks and put them next to the wine. He put the candles in the candlesticks. The tablecloth reminded Sammy of a huge spider web, and he remembered the hole in his. "I'll fix it later," he thought. Instead, he wandered back into the kitchen. Josh had finished lunch, and he was helping Mrs. Shapiro make challah. One of our friends made challah today. Logan, how did you enjoy your challah? It looked beautiful. I saw a picture of it. She kneaded the dough and divided it into 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. Josh rolled each strip, placed them side by side. Mrs. Shapiro took one strip and crossed it over the middle strip. Then she took another strip and crossed it back over. "Left over the middle, then right over the middle," she said. She did this again and again until she had a braided bread. Sammy watched carefully. Left over the middle, then right over the middle. He repeated, practicing on the strands of his web. The effort made him tired, and he dozed off. Sammy got tired. While Sammy slept, Josh went up to his bedroom. It was time to clean up his toys. Sammy woke up at the sound of music. The sun was setting. The Shapiros were gathered around dinner. We have a friend here. Cooper wants to read the story with us. And the table singing Shabbat Shalom. It looks like they're getting ready for Shabbat. I think Cooper, my kitty cat's ready for Shabbat. "I wish I could celebrate Shabbat," Sammy thought as he watched Mrs. Shapiro light the candles and recite the blessing. Everyone sang the blessing over the wine and the challah. We've done that, friends, haven't we, on Fridays? Mrs. Spider crawled over to Sammy and gave him a hug. "My goodness, you fixed our web," she exclaimed. To his surprise, Sammy saw that the web had been neatly braided, just like the Shabbat challah. Do you see? Looks just like a challah. Sammy listened while Mr. Shapiro read Josh a bedtime story. He climbed up on his web and he fell asleep. The next morning, Sammy watched Josh get dressed for the synagogue. He chose his favorite sweater and kippah. When the Shapiros left for Shabbat services, Sammy climbed up his web and noticed a tiny new hole. What do you think Sammy did since he noticed a new hole in his web? Do you think he's going to fix it? Celebrate Shabbat? He told his mommy, "But I guess I need to fix our web again. I remember how. Left over the middle, right over the middle," he said. "I guess I'll do it now." Oh no, smiled Mrs. Spider. Shabbat is the day of rest. You can fix it later. And that's the story about Sammy the Spider's first Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Miss you.